Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to day one of week 2 of ALYFE Connects, our very first virtual event brought to you exclusively by ALYFE Group. We had so much fun last week, we decided to do it all over again, and we have another full week planned of amazing speakers and sessions for you throughout this week. And we are delighted to kick things off for week 2 by inviting the wonderful Daniel Fong, the multi-talented man who is a star of stage and screen and sound for that matter. He is a recording artist, a singer, a TV personality, a commercial talent, even a qualified fitness instructor. Daniel will be joining us to talk about some of the practical tips he has learned in his journey through the entertainment industry and sharing with us some of those that we can take home and use for ourselves when it comes to building a professional portfolio. He'll be sharing us some stories of the glamour and the grind behind the scenes of the entertainment business, and also taking us with him on his journey through the various places he's been, up, down, all around the entertainment business. So please, to kick things off for week 2, help me welcome Daniel Fong.
Hey, Jacob. Wow, thanks for the wonderful speech about me.
It practically writes itself, man. I almost had to memorize that thing because there's a long list of things that you do, and it's fair to say you've been a busy guy over the last few years, Daniel. So before we get to all that, though, I'd love to know how you're doing it. How's the lockdown been for you?
Well, the lockdown is great. I been doing a lot of cooking, fitness, just like everybody else there. Like everybody's a cook right now. Everybody's a fitness instructor, and I've been learning a lot of new skills. I've been doing copywriting. In fact, I'm learning Korean right now.
So, wow! The grind never stops.
Yeah.
A lot of people have taken the opportunity just to relax and put their feet up at home for a little bit. But there's just no stopping you. I think you have this natural born hustle, clearly.
Oh, man. Come on. You're making me blush.
Korean, how's that going? That's tough.
Well, because I signed up for a course in Skillshare. I'm not sure if you've heard about Skillshare. So they have, Skillshare is like a platform where you pay every month a subscription fee, and you actually get to choose a lot of courses if you wish to learn anything at all. It could be cooking, could be languages, it could be copywriting, it could be software engineering, anything. Yeah,
I'll have to check this out. This sounds pretty perfect actually for a lockdown.
It is.
Matter. You don't have to be locked down to learn a new skill, but having time at home helps. How about sort of creatively and I guess I want to say professionally, because I know that for you right now it must be a tough time with events shutting down, for example. I know you were involved in a drama series that was shooting, which I guess is not shooting right now. So how has it been for you on the creative side of things?
I actually have around 2 dramas that's actually pending at the moment, and it's both Malay dramas. So it's supposed to be I'm supposed to finish shooting right now, but they postponed it to June, and it could be July, it could be August. I don't know. So, but whereas on social media we have campaigns, and I don't get a lot of campaigns online. It depends on ALYFE Group most of the time.
Well, so why we're here. We're doing what we can to make up for it, So we thought we miss events, and we miss our talents, we miss our friends, and so we thought we'd bring you guys all online instead. It turns out we have a lot of very talented friends, much more talented than ourselves, but it's always very good to talk to them and get some insights and learning. So, and this is really what we hope to do. I mean, we're not quite at the level of Skillshare yet, but nevertheless, the intention behind ALYFE Connects is to give, hopefully, the audience some insights and some value and some learnings, whether it's cooking, whether it's recipes, or whether, like you're going to share with us today, portfolio and personal branding. So I'm very much looking about that.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you guys for actually tuning into live. So I can't really see the number here, like who's online and stuff. So
we've got some comments here. Yan Rucha says hello.
Nice.
BB, I can't see the name because guys, just by the way, if you're watching at home, you have to give us access via StreamYard. The link is at the top of the page posts. You have to allow StreamYard access to your Facebook page. It's not dangerous, don't worry, but we can't see your usernames without that access. So if you don't mind and you want us to, if you want your name on the screen, please allow that access. If you want to remain anonymous, that's cool too, but otherwise you'll just show up as Facebook user. But nevertheless, and Yanru wants us to share very quickly the program's name. That was Skillshare, I believe, right?
Skillshare, yeah.
Skillshare. Okay, we'll put that up in the comments below in just a second because it seems like a very useful thing for people to learn. So let's,
right.
but before we go into all that, Daniel, I think it would be really nice and interesting for our viewers at home to know about you and your background, about you and what got you to this point, and what started all of this this entertainment journey for you. Tell us where it all began.
Yeah, so basically today's topic is not going to be about fitness. I've been doing a lot of fitness live, but today's topic is going to be about the entertainment industry. So I want to share with you guys out there, like, how do I start the entertainment scene? So entertainment, it comes as a surprise. When you were a kid, you watch TV, you'd be like, hey, I want to be a superstar. I want to be like that guy in the screen right there. But that was always a dream, like you don't know like if you will ever get there. So it all started, I would say, what you need is a little bit of luck at first. You need a bit of luck. You need the right time, the right place. So a friend of mine actually brought me to a casting. At the time, I didn't know what was a casting like. I was like, oh, what's a casting? Like, hey, do you want to be in commercials? I was 19 years old. I was like, yeah, let's try doing commercials. Yeah. And it's fun. And you're studying, you only have a little bit of pocket money. You want to earn more money. So I'm like, okay, let's try it out. So I went for a commercial casting. So it was actually an open casting. So for those out there, what is an open casting? An open casting is they actually open up the whole studio. Anybody could go in and just do a casting. So that means, that being said, there were a lot of people that day. We have around 100 plus to 200 people.
That is a lot of people. I must admit that I've been to a couple of open castings, but never with that many people. It's that's a big number.
Yeah, so we got to wait for hours. And so what we do in the casting is we write down the details. We were handed a piece of paper. You write down your name, your age, your height, blah, 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 bio, everything, and then your experience and stuff. So I went in there with zero experience, and then we do a casting. So what can you expect from a casting? So I was nervous. My hands were shaking. I was like, I'm in front of a camera. I'm so nervous. So went in there, as you do a few expressions, take a few photos, professionally done. It's not like those model photos, like hey, like you gotta look cool. It's more like Polaroid photos. So it's straight angles, and then
it's almost like a mug shot, right?
It's a mug shot, yeah, exactly.
So turn to the camera, turn left, turn right. It's
yeah.
There's nothing cool or sexy about profile shots. Let's face it.
It is. They want to see the most natural part of a person. So that was done within like 10 minutes. They're like, okay, you're done. I'm like, oh, that's it. I don't get my job. I know. If you have a job, we'll call you. I'm like, okay. So after a few months, I managed to receive a job. So when they say you're shortlisted for a job, you have to go for another casting for that particular job. And for that particular job, you have around like maybe 100 plus people. Maybe they say you're shortlisted, but they have 100 plus waiting. So you got to go in there again. You got to wait for hours again. And then you got to write down the same details and take the mugshot of you again. So they want to see how much you've changed over the months. And then they're going to ask you act out. Oh, so for this one, we have a storyboard. You're going to be like this guy. So you got to act it out. So I did my best. And I was rejected a lot of times during the first few months where I started. And I didn't get anything. Then I landed into one commercial called Old Town White Coffee. I'm not sure if you guys heard about that.
Oh, we do.
Yeah. In fact, that was my first commercial ever, and they are still using my photos.
Wow. Yeah. How long ago was this?
This was many years ago. This was 7 years ago.
Wow.
That was my first. Yeah, that was my first commercial, and
it must have looked so good. They were like, we literally don't need anything else here. Like, we're done. Like, advertising, right. complete.
So I did that, and ever since that commercial came up, I have a lot of commercials coming along. So from then, I kind of learned about like what are the requirements you need to actually nail an audition, to nail a casting. So what clients are looking for commercials, it's a decent looking person. Like anybody out there, you got to smile, you got to be cheerful, you got to look neat. Neat is really important. Like I think if you have short hair or very neat, you actually get more chances of getting a specific role. So yeah, so that was one of the things I learned. And then I stopped commercials after a year. I went abroad to study. I went to Melbourne. I was in Melbourne for around like 2 years. I finished my degree. I came back at when I was 24, 23, 24. I think that was 4 years ago, 4 years ago. Oh shit! Now you know my age.
You're just giving the game away, Daniel.
Yeah. Well, it's all right. Then I came back. I actually enrolled in a full-time job. I was working corporate. I was working Allianz Insurance. I was management training over there. And at the same time, I was picking up commercials as well. I was picking up commercials, and because I want to earn more money, I'm only getting like 2,005 per month, like minus ETF, SOXO. I only get like 2,002.
Yeah. And sometimes these shoots, I mean, they can be a long, grueling day, but if you get a decent brand or a decent client putting it together, you can earn 5, 6, 7 in just one day's work. It's like it's like 3 months income. And you get to be on camera, which is, maybe it's a bit narcissistic sometimes, but it's quite fun. You know what I mean?
It is fun. You want to look good, whether it's you see yourself in magazines and all.
Yeah.
So that was actually the year I was having a tough time. I was doing management training for around like 6, 7 months, but I have a lot of opportunities to go abroad to do modeling and do commercials. And we have annual leaves. So there's not much leaves I can take. And somehow I was lucky enough to have some of the clients who actually book the shoots during weekends and book the studio during the weekends. Or if they need a few days, they actually book on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I just got to take a day off on Friday. So that what happens. Then it came until a point where I could no longer do a full-time job. And then I came out I finished my management training, I finished my rotation, and then I came out. And then I was trying to do full-time in the entertainment scene. But you see, it's a bit tough at the same time. When you try to do that, and then you have not many jobs, then you'll be spending your time. Yeah.
It's amazing how it's amazing. I mean, I've experienced it to a small. I'm very much a rookie in this my short time here, but it's almost that when you're working full time, you seem to get all of the jobs in from the agents, all of the casting calls, and then when you try and give yourself some time to focus on getting the casting calls, there's nothing. It's ironic almost. It's just a question of that.
It is.
So when it comes to you though, like finding these jobs, because I know how it works in Malaysia is quite informal. People will have multiple agents and things and be signed to different studios. How was it working for you at the beginning? Did you have when you went for your first open casting, was that with a studio and then you just stayed in contact with that studio, or did you get like have you found multiple agents at the beginning, or how did it work for you in terms of representation?
So while I was saying, I was actually introduced by a friend. And then when you're not signed to the studio, you don't have to sign to them. You just got to place your face there. And so how does all this studio works? We don't have a lot of studios like this anymore. Is because nowadays we have social media, and social media is actually your new profile. People actually get you to shoot based on how you look on social media. But it could be quite deceiving because we have a lot of filters. We have edited photos and stuff. So I'm pretty sure you guys have trouble with that. Yeah. So it can
be interesting to kind of work between what a client expects and what is ultimately delivered and things. And yeah, you're right. Like, it is a very filtered existence we live in, which is why actually it's quite interesting to see because like I said, so I know a few model agencies and studios, both as clients and with me myself having a profile with them. It's very interesting to see. Like, I'll go and visit like a studio and I'll see someone's profile on the wall, and it will take me a while to recognize them because they look, the mugshot looks so different to like their Instagram, heavily filtered, extremely exposed, candid, like holiday shots. It's literally Instagram versus reality, you know?
It is.
So,
It is.
yeah.
That's why we have all this. That's why clients would love to see a video of yourself. Like, hey, you can't make it for casting. Could you take a video? You know, like say hi. You know, introduce yourself, do a bio and stuff. So yeah, at the time, we have this mugshots and castings, and basically, if you put your profile there, you just got to go there. You have to actually go there. You can't be lazy. You actually have to go there, put your profile there, and keep it updated for maybe every 6 months, and then wait for the job. But we are very impatient. So so you got to present yourself. You got to really dress well. You got to really do your hair. Like I say, the key is to be neat. You don't have to be extremely good looking. You don't have to be you don't have to be like Karen Knightley. You don't have to be like like Robert Downey Jr. You just got to look neat and look smart. So of course there are a lot of commercials out there, and every commercial, they have different roles for everybody. Short, tall, fat, skinny. Yeah.
Right. Not everybody is gonna look like, they're gonna be the leading man like a Brad Pitt. There, like you said, there are roles and requirements for every shape, size, and color under the sun, right? So there's a role out there in a way for everybody. But what you're saying is the importance is, no matter what role you're going for, you must always present yourself very, very well.
You got to be clean. You got to be clean. You got to be energetic. You got to be, you got to be just presentable. You don't have to dress the coolest. You don't have to buy the most expensive suit. Just a t-shirt, white t-shirt and jeans does the trick all the time.
Yeah.
Not everybody looks like Jacob. So
now you're making me blush, I think.
So that was one of it. And once you get into jobs, you get casting calls. So when you get casting calls, doesn't mean you get the job, but it's extremely important for you to go for these casting calls, because you never know who you might bump into. So like if you watch the show Yes Man by Jim Carrey, so when you say yes to anything, you open up a possibility to another thing. So always say yes to something, So that happened after my I think my 20th casting, or 21st, 22nd, I can't remember. That was after casting. It was within a year as well. I went for a lot of casting, and not all I get the job. And one of the casting, a guy came to me. So a guy came to me and say like, hey, are you interested in acting? I was like, yeah, I want to be an actor. Like, why not? It's fun. I'm young. I want to try it out. So I didn't know that guy is actually, he actually recruits extras. So extras, basically what is extras is you don't act, you are just the background, like the main characters are acting at the background, drink coffee in the kopitiam or something else. So I went and meet up with him. I took the effort to meet up and follow up. Following up is very important. You got to be a bit thick-skinned. You can't be like, I'm a celebrity, I'm diva, I can't do this shit,
No, you got to be easy to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Was this guy then? What kind of productions was he casting extras for? Was it TV or film work, or a little bit of both? Like,
this was TV actually. This was from TV2. It's by a company called Trill Media, but they have already closed down. So I went to the studio. I met up with the executive and stuff, and I was very lucky. Like I say, you need a bit of luck, and you need to look the part. The part by mean you don't have to look good. You got to look neat, and you got to look cheerful. Like, hey, I'm providing good vibes. So at the end of the day, it's about man-to-man interaction. Is about people-to-people interaction. So it's just like you auditioning for a job, or you are doing an interview for a job. Let's say I want to work in PwC, I want to work in KPMG. You're going to present your best self, so your boss will like you. Just that when you're in the entertainment scene, you actually do interviews all the time. You go for casting calls. These are all interviews, so you got to look interviewable all the time.
By the way, sorry, just to jump in, we're gonna have a Q&A session at the end of the video. But there's one comment we've had from Yolanda, which is very relevant to what we're discussing right now, and I think you've kind of touched on a couple of things just then. But the question is, what mentality should rising celebs, or should people who are starting out in the industry, should novices, if you like, have in order to thrive? How should their approach be? What what should they be putting out there as far as, you know, working well with other people is concerned to thrive in the industry?
Yes, when you're a rising celeb, you are actually trying to go into the market. All right, so you have to be really, really hopeful, and because honestly, no matter how talented you are, how good looking you are, you might not get the things you want to get. That is the cruel reality of this industry. That's why we always wonder, like, oh my God, I love this actor. He's so good, but why isn't he as famous as this guy? There's a reason. It's not that he is bad, he's worse off than this guy. It's just that he might not have the opportunity that this guy has. He might miss a chance, he might miss a timing, he might miss a little bit of luck, you know? So I think the mentality you should have, you got to be positive and you got to be consistent. That's very important. You got to be really, really consistent. You can't be like, I'm good at singing. I post like, nowadays we have social media, so we post a cover. So I do one cover. I hope that everybody will notice me after this cover. No, that's not the case. This cover could mean nothing. Nobody's going to watch it, you know, maybe just a few hundred, few thousand, but it's not going to reach to the level like everybody is actually watching it. Or, oh, he's good at singing, you know. Maybe before, yes, when YouTube is new, like not many people is doing it, but everybody's doing it. I have friends. I have a guy friend. He wants to be an artist. He wants to be a singer. So he was telling, I said, what's your goal for this year? He said, my goal this year is to do a cover. I said, just one cover? He said, yeah, one cover. It's going to be a great cover. I was like, dude, why? Come on, you got to do at least once a week if you want you want people to notice you. It's that's it. So your mentality has to be positive, and you got to be really, really hardworking at the same time. Grab every opportunity.
I think,
yeah.
Right. I think what you've just touched on is unfortunately true in that we live in a very, very fast-paced society. So and things get, I don't want to say forgotten, but people's attention now moves on much quicker than it used to. So if your friend there, if he does one cover, right, might be the most amazing cover, sure, but if he only does one, a week later people are going to forget about it, or it's not going to be what people are still unless it's like a #1 hit. But you see what I'm getting at. So you can't just do one piece of great work and then sit back and just expect things to come to you. You have to be putting yourself out there consistently, branding yourself consistently, and showing that attitude, like positioning yourself and promoting yourself as having that hustle, that hardworking attitude to make people want to work with you, because they know that they'll be getting, you know, that kind of attitude.
Yes.
Right?
So, but that being said, there are actually cases where people actually just do one and they actually made it. Like the song Dance Monkey, you know. So, but like I say, you need a bit of luck, and at the same time, that one thing you do has to be, you have to follow the trend. There is a trend as well, like what music is the hit right now. Is it electronic music? Is it what genre you're aiming for? There's a trend that's going on, and then you got to have the right marketing. You got to know which are your demographics to actually put it in. So there's a lot of things to consider. So, but being an artist, the singer, the actor, you don't have time to think about this stuff. That's why a lot of people are signed to a company. So you're signed to a company, you have management do it for you. But that being said, let's move on to the realistic part of this industry. So when you're signed to a company, there are a few criteria you actually have to look about. You have to look about what does this company does. Number one, that is step number one. What does this company does? Are they a production house? Are they anything else? Do they actually focus? What are their focus at? Because there are a lot of companies out there that actually signs a lot of people, but it's just like the famous China actress Fan Bingbing. Not sure you heard about her. So she's really, really popular. And that, for example, let's use someone from Hollywood. Let's say Robert Downey Jr. or Brad Pitt. Okay, you're in the same company as Brad Pitt. All right, that sounds great, right? That sounds good. It sounds, I'm in the same company as Brad Pitt. Yeah, it sounds great, man. But this company has 100 artists, and Brad Pitt is their top selling artist. So,
how do you?
What's the hierarchy like? You are in the same company as Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt's getting all the jobs. So, and then the company is only focusing on Brad Pitt because Brad Pitt actually brings revenue to the company. And you, as a newbie or a rising star or someone new, you might not get the opportunity that is looking after.
So you have to be so maybe the advice is that you, as much as an amazing opportunity with a big production house who manage it, Brad Pitt, as amazing as it might seem, it might be better for you starting out to work for a smaller house, a smaller studio or whatever,
Yes.
who can work with you on a much more personal level, who can help guide you and help you grow at that point in your career. Because otherwise you're just a tiny fish in a big pond. Something like that.
Yes, something like that. But you could go both ways. You could be signed under the Brad Pitt's company, but you have to have a good contract. Like the contract say within 2 years, I need to have 10 movies, and one of them is with Brad Pitt. So yeah, that might work.
If you're in the same company as Brad Pitt, and one day he sees you in the hallway, or maybe one day you get in the elevator with Brad Pitt, and he decides he likes the look of you for his sidekick in the new movie, then
Yeah, that's a chance, and this is the opportunities that you have, but you got to be prepared. So how actually being prepared? It might take a long time, or it might just take a very very short time. It could be a matter of minutes. It could be a matter of years. It's a shift in mentality. You got to tell yourself you can do it, and and there are skills in castings that you can use to actually land a role. These are tactics you can use, but there's a long topic. I could talk for days. This kind of stuff. So
that'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be really fun. There are tactics you can use.
That'd be fun. You could do a master.
A master class, yeah. I hope I can do that. You know, I'm still really new in the industry. I'm just been here for around like if I talk about commercials, I've been here for a long time. But in terms of acting and singing, I've just been here for 2 years, 2 years ish.
Even for commercials, like whatever you can do in a positive way to stand out when you're casting, because like you point out, you don't have to be the best looking in the room, but you know, you go to a casting and there's like 15 beautiful people, all of whom kind of look the same because the role profile is the same. How are you going to stand out amongst those people? And that is by being neat, being cheerful, giving the good vibes. You know, so there are all really useful little tips and tricks that you can use to stand out, I feel.
Yes, and at the same time, there's a lot of PR going on. You got to know, for example, this is on the surface. You know, these are the casting stuff, but you got to know. That's why you got to talk about attitude is very very important in this industry. Like you have a good attitude, you can go really really far. That's what you keep saying and hearing. You know, so what does that mean? It means that an attitude. It means that how you work with your co-stars, how you work with the producers, the directors, and once you finish a project together, right, then you will get their contacts if they like you, and you're a good person to hang out. It's like, hey, you're pretty cool to hang out with, you know, like let's exchange contacts and let's work, and at the same time let's get some tea, you know, let's go mama or something. It's all PR. It's all, you're making a friend. You're not building contacts. You're building a relationship with these people. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's just like I know you guys. I know Andy. You know, Andy gave me a lot of jobs, and then I'm invited to ALYFE Connects. So this, you gotta keep a relationship. It's not like, hey, let's work, then you don't talk to this guy ever again.
It's got to be it's got to be about a lot more than just a transaction, of course.
Yeah,
you know, because nobody enjoys that. And the reason I like doing what I do is that because, you know, we genuinely enjoy when it comes to events, and you know, we miss events. We miss you guys. You know, like when it comes to events and shoots, even, you know, we just like hanging out with you. You know, like it's fun, and there's a reason why we're very, you know, we're grateful and we're humbled and we're #blessed to be able to, you know, hang out with you guys a lot of the time, because we find that that's the best way to create a mutually beneficial relationship, and at the same time having some fun with it, you know, and like, you know, that it's genuine, you know, that it's authentic, and it's still a win-win for both parties. So
yes,
I guess that's another then industry tip from Daniel is just make friends, go about it the right way, and an open and honest and friendly and approachable way, I think. Tip 2, I'm going to add that, make
Yeah.
friends.
Tip 2, make friends. I think tip 3 is to follow your gut feeling. That's really important. Like we hear a lot of scary stories about the industry, like especially for girls, females, a lot of stories, unfortunately, some of them are actually true, because some people might actually do a lot of things and go to a certain extent to actually land a role, to get a job. And
it's a
yeah,
fickle industry,
it's
and it's
fickle
competitive. And some people, like, I'm speaking in very general terms here, but some people do have a burning desire to do whatever it takes to just be famous. Some people are just focused on the fame, the glamour, and they'll go to some lengths to get there. But I'm not, I'm not making any statements. I'm not definitely not mentioning any names.
Yeah.
But, you're right. It can. So there is like a dark side, I guess, to the industry in that respect as well. But back to you for a second, Daniel, because we got to the point in your story when you had just got into the extras scene. You were starting to be cast on TV too. So then, how did that evolve from there?
So I got into an extra scene, and I was given a few lines during the show, maybe around like 3 lines. I was actually scolded by one of the actors. She was telling me, she was being really rude. She was then this kind of stuff happens, like someone would actually just drop a bomb on you, and you'll be like, oh shit. But you don't have to care, I would tell myself, like, it doesn't matter whatever you say to me, because at the end of the day, I know my own values, and it's fine. So from there on, the director actually liked me. See, I don't care about that person. I don't even know where she is right now. And so the director kind of liked me, and I was actually invited for another casting, because it just so happened this company is doing a new show, and they're looking for 8 main characters. And I went for the casting. I went for a few times. I follow up, and eventually I got into one of them. So that happened before I went to Australia. So when I came back, then I did a show. I was one of the main actors. It was in TV2. And then I went back to Australia. I came back. Then that's when I actually started working with Astro. So Astro had a few reality shows, and one of the reality show is called Call Me Handsome. So it's like Running Man. Yeah. When I first saw the show, I'll be like, what kind of show is this? Call Me Handsome. So I know where I'm going to be in this show. Yeah.
Call Me Handsome. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. And it sounds like a reality show. So what did that involve?
So we were playing games in the reality show and stuff. That's how I met Daniel Tan as well. We were from the same reality show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So got into the reality show. I actually got into the reality show because I had a profile. So I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So this profile, I created this profile. I dig up all my old contacts. I send it all to them. I'm like, hey, this is my profile. This is my profile. This is my profile.
You gotta
you got to do the hard work. You got to do the behind the scene. You send the email. This is my profile. This is my profile. And just so happened, Astro saw the profile, and they invited me to join one of their episodes.
Interesting. Yeah. What kind of games were they playing? Was it like a challenge?
Challenges, cooking, fitness challenges. It's something like what we're doing in MCO. Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, but of course on a different level. Yeah. So after that, that was in the year 2017. So I decided to sign in another full-time job, because I was doing insurance before that. So I decided to do insurance again. So I signed to an insurance agency, and I started working with them because their timetable is a bit flexible as long as you finish your work and you hit a right target. So I'm doing that at the same time I'm accepting gigs. So then I got into fitness. I got really, really into fitness. I met Alex, I met Kidma in year 2017. So Alex encouraged me to join a fitness man physique competition. I was telling myself, if I want to be good and I want to give more value into the entertainment industry. I'm not very talented. I started from scratch. I'm not really good in music as well. I got to learn. I attend classes. I attend 2 years classes of singing. Yeah, and
And you
then
released a couple of singles now, including like an English language and a Chinese one. Like, I think you're selling yourself a bit short by saying you're not talented. You're being too modest.
no, it's not. It's not that. It's just that there are much more talented people out there. What I'm saying is, you gotta keep adding value. You gotta keep adding value in the industry. Like, why would people want to use you? Ask that question. Don't say like, nah, this industry is not fair. They don't want to use me. You gotta ask. You gotta say like, why would they want to use you? So you gotta add more value. So then I told myself, all right, I want to be like an action star. I gotta have a nice body. So I joined the men physique competition with Alex. And just so happened, I got a really good result from the competition. I got top 6. And I didn't know that a lot of magazine editors, they actually see these competitions. So at the time, there was a magazine called Men's Uno. So Men's Uno was pretty popular. And then they actually saw me participating in this competition and they were amazed by the results. So they actually invited me for a cover shoot. So a cover magazine shoot is a pretty big deal. So you get to be featured, you get to have a few pages, and you get to have your bio written down, you get to have your story written down. Then I was scouted from, because of this competition, I was scouted from Singapore, iFitness, to appear on the cover of their magazine as well.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, this magazine was it was one of the good ones in Singapore too. So it's a fashion fitness magazine. So they do more lifestyle and stuff. And
Right.
yeah, that's pretty cool. Then
But you talk about a little bit of luck, but at the same time, I'm a firm believer in the fact that you make a lot of your own luck too, and so the fact that you were just willing and open to go along with your friend who recommended you for this physique competition, all of a sudden that leads to 2 magazine covers, But it was having the open mind in the first place, and of course, like the dedication to actually get in shape and work out. But so it was like, you'd say it was kind of a lucky result, but you put yourself in that position through an open mind and hard work.
Exactly. So that comes back to what we say before. You gotta say yes. You gotta be yes to open up the possibilities. And because of that 2 covers, I was scouted again to have another casting with Astro for their first ever web drama. And this was actually how I started up. In terms of my social media as well, I had around I think around 7,000, 8,000 followers at the time. Then this competition and stuff brought maybe another 10,000, and then I went into this drama. So this drama was a hit. In terms of the Chinese industry, it was very popular, and we have fans, we have fan meetings and stuff. So I was very lucky to be involved, and my role inside is a gym trainer, and they wanted someone with a really nice body and good looks, and then a presentable vibes as well. So it just fits the criteria at the right time.
Nice.
Nice. So then
from that in itself, so maybe you could say, so maybe you could say, maybe in a way that is a bit lucky in the sense that the role itself was so perfect for you, but everything you had done up to that point to put yourself in position for the role, you were making that luck. You were making that luck and that hard work meet together. So maybe just it was a question of good timing with the role itself, but without all of the hard work that you'd already put in, you wouldn't have been anywhere near the role. So,
yeah, you gotta start somewhere. Honestly, you gotta be positive. You gotta be you want to do something. You gotta have high energy, and this high energy and positivity is gonna turn into luck, so-called luck. Exactly. So yeah, then from then I posted covers in year 2018. So I started posting covers, not hoping to get a lot of views, but just trying to let people know I can sing. So that opened up to a new possibility. So from then, I was invited to a few corporate gigs to perform, and it was my first time ever performing singing. So I was really nervous. I was trying my best. Then from then, they pay really well as well. Then from then I was invited to one of the biggest charity shows in Malaysia. It's called Famine 30. Not sure you heard about that. So Famine 30, we have around like 15,000 people in the stadium. So you get they invite around like 15 local artists to do. They have around 15 local artists to perform, and they have one international artist. So my year, I did last year and the year before. The first time I did was with Jam. Jam is an international recording artist from Hong Kong, and she's really popular in China. So yeah, I get to meet her in person. I didn't really talk to her. I just her bodyguards was there, and I'm like, hey, what's up? So
all of a sudden, they're to playing in front of like a couple of corporate gigs, and then suddenly 15,000 people. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's not my own concert, but that crowd is amazing. Yeah, and then from then I went to China. I was invited for because of all this portfolio I've gathered, and I have my portfolio which I've created. I'll show you guys later. Then I was given an opportunity to actually go to China because of the web drama I did with Astro. Because that drama was given to Web TV Asia, and Web TV Asia is linked to China, and China is doing a new show and a competition, and then they actually scouted me. That's why I joined a boy band competition there in 2018, end of 2018. Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, that was a few months. In China. Yeah. So came back. You learn a new skill. You get to dance, and then you get to sing. I was offered a contract there. Yeah.
I mean, you hear like, I mean, these things are almost like boot camps, right? Like you guys are drilled pretty hard, and when it comes to practice and learning things and routines and everything else, like it's pretty intense, right?
It's very intense. Yeah, it's crazy. And our instructors are from Korea, so they actually had a stick. Like do something wrong, they hit the chair, they kick the chair. It's like, boya, machiban. I was like, oh shit. Then we have around like, so we are top 30. I got into top 15, which was the final. I actually was, I was one of the winners. We have 15 people that won. I was one of the winners. So when you win, you get to be offered a contract in China. You got to get a contract in China, but at the end of the day, a contract, you still have to look at the stuffs that you want to do and the agreement. So it didn't really fit what I wanted, so I kind of rejected it. But we're still keeping in touch, so that's a good thing. So I came back from China. I in 2019 last year, I released my single, "Sing Me Home,"
We've had a request for you to maybe we have time at the end, but we have had a request for you to maybe sing a little something for us. So I don't know if you're.
Maybe I'll sing a small verse or chorus. Yeah.
There we go. A little shout out. We'll plug this. We'll plug this.
Nice.
But that's fast. So now you're focusing more. I mean, you mentioned you have 2 dramas which are to shoot, so that that'll be exciting. Do you have any other plans on the music side of things?
Yes, in fact, you just reminded me. I was actually having 2 singles that I was working with Map Music, and then at the same time, we were supposed to record the single, but MCO happened and stuff. So it's put on hold at the moment. Yeah.
Well, maybe a few of the people we've had on ALYFE Connects so far, a few of the performers and singer-songwriters, they found that this time has actually been maybe a good one to work on some of the creative process back at home. So some of them have found it really productive in terms of writing songs and gathering new and old inspiration. So you never know, maybe this extra time at home will help you like fine-tune a couple.
Exactly. But at the end of the day, I think that nowadays is really, really good because we have Instagram, we have YouTube, we have Facebook. So you can actually post a lot of stuff out there and hoping someone would see it, and then create content. I think content is really important. It's a different era right now compared to I make it sound like we are really old, but we're still young. Okay, we're still in our mid-20s.
I still don't have TikTok, so I still feel quite old.
So that's how it is. So now I'm going to show you guys about the portfolio. that this portfolio will actually, for those who are interested in modeling, acting, and singing, whenever a company asks you, they will definitely ask. Whenever they say like, hey, are you free? We are really interested in you. Are you free for this casting day? And they're like, yes, you are free. You answer, yes, I'm free. I will come for a casting. Then they will ask you, can I have your portfolio, please? So you'll be, when I was new, someone asked me, like, can I have your portfolio, please? And I was working in corporate. So what I gave them was, I gave them just a piece of paper with my name, with my bio and everything.
Oh, your resume.
Yeah, resume, just the words, So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So I'm going to show you guys now. So I'm going to show you my portfolio first. So you get to know what to expect from it. So I'm going to share my screen. So I hope you guys can see it. All right.
Bring it
So
this is like, so Dan, for the audience at home, so Daniel's, I mean, we've just heard his story. We've heard how busy he's been. We've heard of the wonderful experiences that he's had in the industry. This portfolio is like the gold standard, for an actor, for a model, for a TV talent. So this is what one of the best in the business has as his own portfolio. So take a good look.
All right. So can you see it, Jacob?
Yeah, we're full screen now. Hang on a second. Let me get rid of Instagram. There we go. Right, so we're full screen now. Take us away.
All right. So you can see my face here, right?
Yeah. There you are.
All right.
Beautiful.
So this is there's 24 pages. So this is my name, my full name, and then my date of birth, and then my height. So you gotta let people know. So what are you? Your ethnicity, your nationality, everything. Everything that you do. So people want to get to know you. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have your bio. So what you're looking at is actually photos. So people would always want to see your face. They want to see like how do you look in different angles, how do you look in height. They want to see your portfolio, like what have you done, experiences. So these are my TV show appearance. There are actually much more. This is a 2018 portfolio. So we have photos.
Wow, look
then we have photos, posters for my dramas. And then this is the competition I had in China. And with that, we have a really, really famous celebrity, Jika Chunyi, which is a very famous celebrity in China. Then we have on my shows, it doesn't have to be professionally done. It could be just photos taken from your phone. You just got to crop it out there and make it presentable. So we have, we have magazine spread. And all these photos are not costly at all. You just got to ask a photographer to, hey, let's do a test shoot. It could be free. It could cost you a few $100, but I think it's worth it.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, the difference between, cameras on phones are great these days. We all know that. But equally, I think it's really, if you are serious about this line of work and trying to get into the industry, it is really worth investing just a couple of $100 into, because you can find plenty of studios in and around KL that will do you a professional looking portfolio shoot for a couple $100, a few hundred at most, and if you're really serious about it, then my advice would be to do as you said. So it's worth it.
Exactly. So you got to have a lot of photos. So the directors, the producers, they actually get to see like, oh, this person, how is he going to look like in camera and stuff. So you got to show different sides. You got to show your good side, your bad side, and then if you have a good body, you can show your body as well. And then you have magazine spreads. Yeah.
Sorry, I mean, even if you go back to the very beginning of the profile, like you have like a few series of you in different, there's the formal, a few more. There's like the formal wear, there's the gym wear, there's different looks, different outfits, different categories, so that different people can see how you look in different adverts and commercials and so on. So you've got to show versatility. You've got to show different moods, different emotions, different like artistic expression, all that kind of thing.
Exactly. So you have like different stuff, like different photos. This could be cheerful. This could be dark. This could be more manly, more macho. So it comes out. Yeah, we have Kidma here as well. This was a photo taken by my camera. So we have commercials. So you got to prove to people. You say like you did a lot of commercials. So what kind of commercials have you done? So you crop it out from the videos. You did it. This is my commercial in China. Was with a very famous brand called Tongren Tang. It's one of the oldest brand, and it existed when it was during the Ming Dynasty as well. So so we have performance. You tell people that you sing. Then you have performance. What other performance you've done? So yeah.
Wow.
So
So I mean, yours, of course, you're, as an industry expert, if you like, your profile, your portfolio is very, very thorough. What advice would you have to somebody starting from scratch? How would you advise? How would you tell them to build a portfolio that looks that is varied, that is versatile, that is showing different looks, but they have no, recorded experience? You know what I mean? Like, what would your advice to someone be to set up a portfolio from nothing?
all right. So at the end of the day, invest in yourself. So you got to cough out a little bit of money. I wouldn't say you need a lot of money. So maybe you could actually have someone, you could work with a friend, a photographer, to take photos of you, different angles, half body, whatever, you look cool, whatever. You can actually go on Instagram. You have a lot of people. You can follow how they post. You can even go to my profile to see how you're going to post and stuff. And then it depends on how you actually decorate your portfolio. Mine is we have a full page of photos, and then we have a little bit of photos here and there, and then you have words. So it's about designing your portfolio. Play PowerPoint a little bit. I use PowerPoint, and then I use PowerPoint for most of it. Yeah. So what's important is you got to let the client know what they need to know about you: your age, your height, your weight, your waist size, your shoulder size, everywhere. Yeah.
I didn't know there was so many. And writing them all out every time is a chore. But yeah, you've got to so take a bit of time to get your friend to measure you. Like you've got to do it all. By the way, you've got to do chest, hips, inside leg, arm, like collar, arm to shoulder, all of it. There are so many, but you've got to take the time to do it, and get used to being in front of the camera. Practice in the mirror. I found sometimes you might feel awkward, but it's going to help you feel much less awkward in front of camera. So once we've got we have another question here. Let's say we've got our portfolio ready, and we want to start it out to people, but we don't know where to begin. And the question here is from someone who they love acting and modeling, but they don't know where to get the jobs. So overall, how can this person start from the very beginning of the process? Like what is like step one is your portfolio say. Step two is what? Where would you advise these people to start looking for contacts and connections in the industry?
All right. If you're started, okay, this person is doing modeling, right? He loves acting and he loves modeling. So nowadays we have a lot of commercial house. We still have a few left, and nowadays people actually look a lot in your social media. So your Instagram, it comes to an extent that they actually look at your followers because they are actually hopeful that your followers would actually watch their show. So it became a little bit more competitive compared to last time. So you have this is what you want, and you're a nobody. You're unable to assign in a company. If I'm not really talented and you have financial issues, how could you get more chance? So you have to let people know you're out there. All right. So step number one, get your portfolio. Step number two, get an Instagram page or get a Facebook page so people can see your photos. And step number three is to start looking for any agencies out there. How do you look? Well, you can go to Google, any agencies you're looking for, top modeling agencies, blah, blah, blah. So this is a very basic way to do things. You go find what's out there and you actually go contact them yourself. Like give them an email. And then when you contact them, they'll be like, I contacted a lot of agencies on my own, like in Singapore, in China as well. The first thing they ask is, can I have your portfolio? And there you have it. You have your portfolio. So you send your portfolio to them, and they will look at your face first. They will look at your photos. But photos, we can always find the right angle. We can edit them a little bit, so they like it. So then they will ask you, what are your experience like? So when they ask about your experience, if you don't have any experience, they'll be like, oh, it's fine, but we like your look. And then they're going to ask you how old you are. If you are 40, 50 years old, you still have a shot. It's just that there might be less roles for you to play. You got to play a different role.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's good to start from scratch, as in like you do videos of yourself. If you have any talent, just come up with the talent. It could be singing, it could be guitar, it could be anything, it could be even cooking, it could be gym. It's a talent as well, something that people can learn from it. And once you have this picture PDF portfolio, then you can create your own video portfolio. So I'm going to show you guys how my video portfolio looks. It's going to be 1 minute. So some clients, they look at the video, they look at portfolio. Oh my God, 24 pages, 25 pages, so long. I don't want to look at this guy's portfolio. And then you send them the video. So how does the video look like? Let me just share screen again.
Brilliant. And yeah, and I think the video portfolio is a good example of how creative you can get with different ways of showcasing your skills and strengths and whatnot. It doesn't have to be just a static, profile. Showcase your skills differently.
All right, can you see it, Jacob?
Yeah, we are full screen.
All right, it's 24 minutes. So this is my portfolio. It's in Mandarin. Not sure you guys can hear it though.
I heard a little bit. The
Yeah.
volume is quite quiet, but I guess you're just doing the introduction parts here.
So these are pictures of myself in the video. Then I'm doing my introduction.
Did you make this yourself?
Nice.
Oh, there's your famous coffee brand.
So these are like snippets of your commercials. What have you done?
Oh, sweet. Very nice, like some tourism ads. So when it comes to getting the video content from your commercials, do the agents share that with you, or do you kind of
most of them are from YouTube, and so your commissions went up to YouTube, and then the posters. I actually emailed them, like those people I work with. I'm like, hey, could you send it to me and stuff? And they were really helpful. Yeah.
Cool. Well, it looks great, and the videos are good. Did you edit the video yourself? Did you put this together?
No, I actually had someone to actually edit the video for me, and I recorded my introduction with him, and I think he charged me around like 100 to 200 ringgit. So money well spent. So I sent a video to China. I sent a video to a lot of things, and the response was good. So yeah,
that's it. So there you have it, guys. Like give up Starbucks for a month, and you'll have the money to put together a professional looking video portfolio you can send to clients. I think Daniel, I'm afraid that we've about run out of time. I think our hour is up, but I know one thing I want to share with the audience before you go, because I know this is a huge passion of yours. On the fitness side of things, and I know that you've just recently created a group, Axel Fitness, right?
Yes.
Which is a community that you're putting together. Let me share my screen now so I can show the viewers what to look for.
Nice.
Tell us a little bit about this community.
We created Axel Fitness during MCO. So when MCO started a tad week later, we actually started Axel Fitness. So it's actually a group where everybody can share any stuff about fitness, what are the problems, and we have admins that are actually qualified fitness coaches to give out what are the right way to do the workout. We have actually a free workout videos when we have free nutrition tips, a lot of stuff, a lot of good content stuff.
It's awesome. Cool. Okay, well, I've just applied to join it, so I hope I'm allowed it.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to checking that out. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have today. But I could have gone on for a while longer, because it's been a really fascinating journey and insight into your journey, and a very, I think, necessary and open and honest conversation about the realities of the industry. A lot of people just see the glamorous parts. They see the fame and the fortune and the fancy cars and parties, and they think it's as easy as all that. But for anybody who's truly serious about getting into this line of work, you've got to respect the hustle. You've got to trust the process and respect the hustle.
Yeah, that's good.
So
well, that's it. I guess.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jacob.
We can't wait to see you again once the lockdown is lifted, and see you at an event. And we're really looking forward to seeing the singles that you have planned to release, and also the dramas that you'll get back to shooting. So we really hope you can do that as soon as possible. And who knows, maybe we can do that masterclass we talked about. Maybe
that'd be fun. Yeah.
I think there's a whole series in here. I think, and coming from a seasoned pro, and you're still a very young guy, and you're a seasoned pro. So I think you'd have a lot to share, and I think a lot of people would be very interested to hear it. But for today, unfortunately, that's all we have time for. So I will say thank you very much. Like, you've got week 2 off to an amazing start. I'm energized and I'm motivated to go through the rest of the day now. And
all right, that's good. Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you for your time.
Take care and stay safe. Watch this. Bye, buddy.
All right. Bye.
All right, that was Daniel Fong, entertainer extraordinaire. And so we really hope that you found that valuable and interesting and insightful, certainly as I did. Sharing or having some insights into the behind the scenes of the entertainment industry is always very, very valuable. And we are very glad and grateful that Daniel was able to share with us some very honest insights. So that is a wrap for the first session of day 1 of week 2 of ALYFE Connects. We'll be joined at 3 p.m. by Andre Amir, another very fashionable male. And in fact, I think he was voted Malaysia's most fashionable male last year. He'll be joining us at 3 p.m. to talk about personal branding and content creation within the lifestyle and entertainment industry. We are joined at 6 p.m. by Benny Price, personal trainer and CEO of Jumper, to talk to us about training techniques and tips during lockdown and busting some health and fitness and nutrition myths. And we'll wrap the day up with an open and honest conversation from Talia Ung and Katie-Ann Rigby, who will be sharing with us their own honest and raw insights into life behind the scenes and behind the curtain in this line of work. So thank you all for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed that. Do check out Daniel's Instagram and his Facebook group, Axel Fitness. We'll see you back here at 3 p.m. I'll be your host. Thank you very much.